5 stocks, $10,000 each. Lowest total return to highest. Dividends are shown as cash, not reinvested. No warm-up. We start with number 5, Coca-Cola. Number 5 is Coca-Cola. $10,000 bought about 351 split-adjusted shares at $28.52. By May 12, 2026, those shares were worth about $28,061. The appreciation jar is roughly $18,061, or a 181% price return. Coke did not fail here, it compounded. But in this lineup, steady and defensive still finishes last. Now the cash side. Coke paid about $8,405 in dividends on the original stake. The sheet shows every year, so we do not need to read every row. The fun part is the progression. Early checks helped with tablets and consoles, then later checks covered full products. By 2017, the dividend could buy a Nintendo Switch. By 2020, it could cover a PlayStation 5. By 2025, it could buy a Switch 2 with room left over. Number 4 is Disney, barely ahead of Coke. $10,000 bought about 312 split-adjusted shares at $32.07. By the finish line, the stock value was about $33,103. Appreciation was roughly $23,103. Disney had massive brands, streaming ambition, parks, ESPN, pandemic pain, and a lot of shareholder whiplash. The chart climbed, but it did not glide. Disney's dividend sheet is the one with the obvious plot twist. Total cash dividends were about $4,434. The early rows show modest checks that helped with gadgets. Then the dividend pause hits. 2020, 2021, and 2022 go dark. That matters. Disney still beat Coke overall, but Coke paid almost twice as much dividend cash. Disney's shareholder story is price appreciation first, income second, and interruption right in the middle. Number 3 is Xcel Energy. A utility does not usually walk into the room with main character energy, but this one beats both Coke and Disney. $10,000 bought about 474 shares at $21.08. By the finish line, the shares were worth about $37,903. Appreciation was about $27,903, a 279% price return. Not flashy, very effective. The dividend sheet is where Xcel really earns its spot. The original $10,000 stake collected about $11,995 in cash dividends. That is more dividend cash than Coke and much more than Disney. Let the grid do the year-by-year work. The highlights are simple. By 2016, the dividend could buy multiple pairs of AirPods. By 2020, it could buy a PS5 and games. By 2025, it could cover 2 Switch 2 systems. Number 2 is Apple, and this is where the scale changes. $10,000 at the start of 2010 bought about 1,308 split-adjusted shares at roughly $7.64. By May 12, 2026, those shares were worth about $385,702. Appreciation alone was about $375,702. The iPhone, services, chips, wearables, buybacks, and ecosystem gravity did the heavy lifting. Apple did not pay a dividend in the first 2 rows of this sheet. It restarted dividends in 2012. But because the original stake became so many split-adjusted shares, even modest per-share dividends turned into real cash. Total dividends were about $13,476. In 2020, the dividend could buy 2 PlayStation 5 consoles. By 2025, it could cover 2 Switch 2 systems and get close to a third. The dividend was not the main event, but it was not tiny. Number 1 is Tesla, and this is why the scoreboard needs a different scale. Using Tesla's first public trading close on June 29, 2010, $10,000 bought about 6,279 split-adjusted shares at about $1.59. By May 12, 2026, those shares were worth about $2,721,536. Appreciation was about $2,711,536. The chart leaves the page. Tesla's dividend sheet is fast because the answer is zero. No dividend cash. No product grid with shopping wins. The entire result came from appreciation. That is the clean contrast in this video. Dividend stocks can pay you while you wait. A growth stock can make the dividend column irrelevant if the price move is extreme enough. But the volatility that comes with that upside is also part of the deal. Final scoreboard is on screen. Coke and Disney were close. Xcel beat both with dividends. Apple changed the scale. Tesla broke it. Dividend lesson. Xcel and Apple paid the most cash. Total return lesson? Appreciation decided the race. That is Charged Alpha, visual investing research without the buy-sell hype. Subscribe for more market stories made visual. Educational only, not financial advice.